I'm not playing a man. Venus Williams forfeits match against trans woman. Your opinion? Full story in the comments. Venus Williams forfeits match against trans woman. I'm not playing a man. Now there's this crazy, hilarious, wacky little thing that conservatives do, which is they just lie on the internet a lot. I mean, first and foremost, that's not Venus Williams, that's Serena Williams. Second of all, the other woman in this picture is a cis woman called Amelie Mauresmo, but I don't know if I'm pronouncing that last name right, but they've played against each other like a dozen times. So this is just made up. It's just made up. It's a lie in every single aspect. Special thank you to my YouTube members and patrons for supporting the channel and supporting my content. How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to another subreddit video. Today we're going to be returning once again to r/insanepeople Facebook. It's always an experience, isn't it? And it seems to only be getting more insane as time goes by. So, you know, we're gonna have a look at that. Very quickly before I begin, I just wanted to mention that I will be live on Thursday, as I am every week at 7 PM UK time, which is like midday, I think, in the US. So I get that it's hard for a lot of Americans to make it when they've got other stuff going on. But yeah, I stream every week, and I also upload those videos to my YouTube channel, Blue the Nerd Live, after the fact, so you can always catch them there the next day if you couldn't make the stream. Right, let's get into the subreddit, shall we? Is it cheating to use a Matt Walsh image? The Matt Walsh Show said, the media says the quiet part out loud. OJ was their hero because he killed white people. And of course, Elon Musk adding absolutely nothing with just being like, exclamation marks. No one's saying this. No one thinks OJ is a hero. No one was okay with OJ killing white people. No one's okay with OJ killing anyone. No one was okay with OJ. He's no one's hero. No one is saying this. This is just like peak conservative outrage bait by Matt Walsh, who's like, yeah, all my audience takes every single thing I say as like fact, as doctrine. I can say anything. Liberals, they think OJ was a hero. No one does. No liberals are out here going, yeah, that OJ, what a hero because he killed white people. That's just not happening. That's just, you know how at the start of the video I said there's this wacky thing conservatives do where they just make things up and pass them off as fact? There you go. And we've got an Elon Musk post. Babe, tell me the truth. I want to fight climate change. Be honest. I am being honest. Be honest. I want communism. Thank you. It's interesting that Elon Musk, the guy that started the electronic car company and, you know, things like he had a solar panel company and things like that, you know, all things that are aimed to reduce the effect on our climate. It's interesting that he now is becoming a climate change denier and is claiming that people trying to actively fight climate change is communism. It's almost like Elon Musk never actually cared about affecting the climate, and it was all a ploy to generate carbon credits that he could then sell for money. Wild. But honestly, right, just putting it out there that if fighting climate change and, you know, preventing worldwide extinction as a result of human actions, if that is communism, then like maybe, just maybe, capitalism not out there for the best of humanity, because it's capitalism that's got us in this position, right? And a lot of climate change prevention techniques that have been presented are not communist. In fact, they rely on capitalism. But people are like Elon Musk are like, nah, they just want communism. No, I mean, it makes sense that someone who generates a large quantity of their income by selling carbon credits to other companies who then generate more emissions, it's obvious that someone who makes a vast amount of money, who happens to be one of the richest people in the world, would maybe be against people actively battling increased emissions and battling things that produce emissions. Like, yeah, of course he's gonna be against that. It's not communism though. It's just like, maybe the richest man in the world shouldn't make quite so much money off of selling other companies the right to produce more emissions. Interesting concept. I saw you laughed at my comment saying we're red in here. All I have to say is keep laughing. You don't understand? Us conservatives understand this may be the last election ever. We haven't burnt buildings. We don't destroy people's stuff. But if this election goes to Sleepy Joe, I promise you, conservatives will not respond the same way. This will be a civil war here in America. Hopefully you got protection, as you and your kind will be the targets. This isn't a threat. This is what is going to happen. We stayed kind, we have stayed silent, and you and your kind have taken that as weakness. Just think before you laugh. Good day. Good luck to you and your kind. They have stayed neither kind nor silent, but okay then. Oh man, there's layers to this. Not only is this an r/I am very badass moment, because let's be real, this guy might have guns. Sure, I very much doubt he has the physical fitness to actually fight a war, you know? But also, if he's saying if Sleepy Joe is elected, okay? Meaning if Biden is legally elected by the public by a majority vote, they will start a war, okay? Which is first and foremost saying we're fascists and we don't believe in democracy. But second of all, he made the comment like, we don't burn buildings, we don't destroy other people's stuff. But like, last time Biden was legally elected by the public vote, they stormed the Capitol building with weapons, attacked police officers, and put people's lives at risk. Need I say more? Did you know listen and silent use the same letters? Do you also know that the words race car spelled backwards still spells race car? And that eat is the only word that if you take the first letter and move it to the last, it spells its past tense ate? And have you noticed that if you rearrange the letters in illegal immigrants and add just a few more letters, it spells go home you freeloading, benefit grabbing, resource sucking, baby making, non-English speaking arseholes, and take those hairy face sandal wearing, bomb making, camel riding, goat shagging, raggedy ass bastards with you? How weird is that? English really is a strange and wonderful language, isn't it? Again, there's levels and ironies, and the first thing I've got to point out is that this is posted by a white person. So, white people in America, where did they come from? Isn't it? That might be an interesting part of history to look into, mightn't it? I'm sure they all legally migrated with all the correct paperwork to America, right? I'm sure that all the white people that came to America, that was all legal, no one was harmed, nothing was wrong there, right? But also, I've got to add onto this, freeloading, benefit grabbing, resource sucking, illegal immigrants can't receive benefits. And in fact, they would actively avoid doing so because they have to actively avoid anything that involves paperwork. Because if they do any paperwork, then they might be found and sent out of the country. Example, regularly, they will refuse anything other than cash when working jobs. They cannot take benefits. All of the claims that conservatives make about illegal immigrants voting and that the Dems are importing illegal immigrants to vote, no, they can't vote. Like, they aren't sapping your resources because they're working jobs to get by. Like, let's just put it out here, right? If you, an English speaker who you think you're more qualified and you're harder working, if you lose your job because someone who can't legally work in the country, can't speak the language, has come over to the country and stolen your job, it means you were really shit at your job, like really shit at your job. But, you know, the whole post is just, it's racism after racism after racism. So my husband and I just got married. None of his family came to our wedding, which I thought was odd, but he said they all live far away and aren't really close. But then like 2 months later, his sister shows up with her baby girl and moves in next door. We started hanging out a lot, and she even leaves her baby, Sophia, with me sometimes when she's out on business. So there I am one day, playing with little Sophia, and it's diaper changing time. I had no clue that this was about to turn my whole world upside down. I take off the diaper and just freeze. There's something on Sophia's leg that it hits me like a ton of bricks. I realize how naive I have been and how I've been played. This woman, she's not my husband's sister. here's what I did. My husband's birthmark and his niece's birthmark. Right, so not how birthmarks work. Oh no, two people have birthmarks in different places on the body. They must be related. That's his sister. We can easily just summarize that is in fact his sister already, because the only clue that she might not be is her baby has a birthmark. But moving on, for more evidence, right? You know what would really easily just prove the whole thing? Prove that is in fact his sister and that is in fact his niece? Birth certificate, ID, that's it. That's all you need. You need the sister's driving license and you can go, she has the same surname as my partner, assuming that she hasn't been married and changed her surname, although there would also be documents to prove that, or the baby's birth certificate. Both of those things would prove this easily, and that would be the end of it. That all you have to do is ask for her driving license. But you know, if someone's out here accusing her husband of cheating because his niece has a birthmark, she's probably not the most reasonable or logical thinking person, and the relationship's doomed to fail from the beginning. Zin-soaked deer blood. Don't fade this biohack. The content of the blood, especially in wild game, renders it a very powerful nootropic, even more so when reacting with nicotine. Nutrient dense and saves the digestive system energy. Why do you think adrenochrome is a thing? Adrenochrome isn't a thing. I mean, it exists as a chemical, but adrenochrome being used as, you know, a stimulant or, you know, for ingestion or getting high isn't a thing. And it's wild to me that keeps being brought up with no proof. Constantly, they're like, yeah, there's an adrenochrome ring underground where they're harvesting babies to make adrenochrome. You don't even need to do that to make adrenochrome. Adrenochrome, being this weird mythical drug that gets you high and being harvested from humans, is a plot of a book. It's not real. But you can actually buy adrenochrome on the internet. It's expensive because it's a chemical used for a variety of purposes in chemistry, and it's expensive to make. But like, you can buy 25 milligrams for £70. Like, that's so much more expensive than like most other drugs. So why would anybody even be doing that? But you can just buy it online. It's just such a weird conspiracy that makes zero sense at all. And it's, for some reason, so many like QAnon conservatives just eat that shit up. They eat it up more than liberals eating up adrenochrome made from baby blood. Oh, it's so stupid. This is the judge in Michigan's alternate electors case against Trump supporters. We need to remove these DEI judges. DEI has really quickly become a conservative catcall for, it's just the new N-word. They just use it in the place of the N-word, you know, because no one can go, oh, this person's using the N-word. They're using DEI. But it's comments like this from these people that are exactly why diversity in these kinds of communities and in these kinds of careers are important. But like, hear me out. If you're worried that a judge might be biased against a group of people that she is currently overseeing in a court hearing because of the color of her skin, what exactly do you think that says about that group of people? Okay? If you're worried that a black person might see something wrong with a group of people and you think it's because she's black, that says a lot more about you and that group of people. Just saying. But also, these people are qualified. She's a qualified judge. No judges are getting into that position without qualifications. In fact, they require a hell of a lot more qualifications to sit in that chair than, I don't know, all of the hundreds of thousands of white police officers that are killing black people throughout the country. It's like 10 times the amount of time to get into that position than an American cop. Just saying. This is so powerful. Remember that the enemy, Satan, is coming after your kids, but your prayers are covering them. Don't ever give up or stop praying and standing in the gap for your kids, no matter how bad it looks. Stomp on the head of the enemy and take your babies back. This fucking image. I don't know if the person that made this post generated this AI image or if they found it. And I don't know what's funnier. The idea that someone went into an AI and went, a crocodile eating a baby elephant while the elephant's mom jumps on the crocodile. And then they themselves made that image with the idea of this post and relating it to God and Satan in mind. Or if they saw this image that someone else had made and then went, I can relate this to God and Satan. But both are fact. But honestly, right, I just gotta point out a really, really minor flaw with this whole statement, okay? You know, the whole Satan coming for your kids, all of that, right? God, omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscient, you know, all of the omnis. He's everywhere. He is everything. He knows everything, okay? Why does he let Satan come after your kids? And why do you need to pray to him to stop him coming after your kids when he has every power to just not let that happen without you even needing to think about it? Because he knows it's happening far better than you do, assuming this is all real. So why do you need to pray? Why would a God let that happen unless you pray? What kind of a God is that? And why? What does that have to do with a crocodile eating a baby elephant while the baby elephant's mom jumps on the crocodile? Funny how these once in a generation eclipses keep happening every 5 to 10 years. First of all, we know exactly when the eclipses are going to happen. They're not random. You can look it up. We know exactly when they're going to happen to the minute, 1,000 years in the future. Second of all, how long do you think a generation is? 15 at most. Coincidentally, generally how long it takes for these big eclipses to happen. This is just a stupid post in every way. They're not random. We know exactly when they're happening, and they tend to happen once in a generation. Crazy how these once in a generation eclipses keep happening once in a generation. Isn't that weird? Isn't that a funny little coincidence? Isn't that crazy that these eclipses that we know exactly when are going to happen exactly when we know they're going to happen? Isn't that wild? Isn't that a funky little thing? If we can put serial numbers on every bill, we can put one on every ballot. Good question. That's not a question. That's a statement, but I can answer this really, really quickly, okay? I'm gonna sum this up so fast. You ready for this? You ready? You ready for this? They do. Whoa. I just realized that raising a kid is basically 18 years of prompt engineering. Our first child will be born next month. What's your biggest piece of advice? Be super careful about what schools teach your kids. Farzad. I don't care how much you might like Elon Musk, okay? I'm gonna give you a huge piece of advice on raising your child that is about to be born, okay? Don't ask advice from the man who actively doesn't spend time with his children, who has children who actively dislike him, and in some cases have completely cut him out of their life. Probably not the right guy to be asking for parenting advice. You don't have to like Elon Musk. You don't have to dislike Elon Musk. You can think that Elon Musk is smart. You can think he's dumb. You can like his inventions. You can hate them. You can like X. You can hate X. None of that changes the fact that he's a bad dad. Regardless of your view on anything, he's a bad dad and you shouldn't be getting advice on parenting from him. That should have been made evident purely by the fact that he compared raising a child to prompt engineering. Marrying a woman with kids is like receiving the death penalty for another man's heinous crimes. Why willingly and enthusiastically unalive yourself? You lost me on this one. Depends on the woman. I was raised by a stepfather. I am a stepfather. It takes huge nuts to do it, and it's not for everyone. I mean this in all seriousness. I would rather be buried alive than raise an inferior man's disgusting child. Hey, nihilist law? I mean this in all seriousness. You couldn't find an inferior man to you if you tried. Obama, president of firsts. First to be gay. Wrong. First to lie about his wife's gender. Wrong. First to lie about his place of birth. Wrong. First to lie about his religion. Wrong. First to have fake kids. Wrong. First to openly disrespect US flag. Wrong. First to spy on / wiretap another opponent. Sorry, but all of the other ones have just been lies. You know, he hasn't done those things and no one else has. But this one, even if he has done this, he's not the first to do it. There's a really, really high profile case in American history of this happening, you know? Like a really, really high profile case. First to wear traditional Muslim garments wielding an AK-47. What? First to order 60K worth of hot dogs from Chicago to the White House at 1 a.m. First to dress up like Satan. First to lie about damn near everything. Traitor, when we're done, he'll claim Kenyan citizenship as a way to escape. Q. You didn't need to add Q at the end there, okay? We know. Oh, right. I've got to go through each one of these, okay? First, to be gay. He's not. He's married to a woman and he has kids, but like, even if he was gay, so what? In fact, in the modern landscape, that would have made him a bigger candidate for liberals. First to lie about his wife's gender. Again, she's a woman. She's had children. But also, even if she was a trans woman, what difference would it make? It wouldn't make a difference. First to lie about his place of birth, we know that's wrong. First to lie about his religion, no. And that's, they contradict themselves later on, okay? First to openly disrespect the US flag, we're just making that up, huh? First to spy on / wiretap another opponent is just laughably uneducated and uninformed. First to wear traditional Muslim garments. Okay, so this is the first part where they're like, yeah, he's Muslim. That's how he lied about his religion. The hot dogs thing, I'm guessing, is some weird, like, dog whistle conservative thing about pedophilia. But again, no evidence, nothing. They're just making shit up. But finally, first to dress up like Satan. So what is he? Is he Muslim or is he a Satanist? Because those two don't go hand in hand. They're not the same thing. So which is it? Oh. It's just an embarrassingly stupid post, and I can't think of a better place to end the video than on that. So thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you have enjoyed today's video. If you would like to support me in making more content like this, then I have a Patreon in the description down below, or equally you can click on that join button on the channel to support me. It helps a lot more than you might realize, but by no means should you feel like you have to. I'm going to keep making content regardless. A huge, ginormous, massive special thank you to all of the wonderful YouTube members that do support me. It genuinely helps so much, and it genuinely means a lot. So thank you so much to everybody that does. Other than that, thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope you have enjoyed, and as always, I will see you in the next video. Peace out.